So Essentials by Fear of God and Jerry Lorenzo is dropping tomorrow at around 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on a bunch of different major retailers such as PacSun and most likely Nordstrom in store. And today I really wanted to talk about Essentials and kind of my thoughts on the whole brand in 2020 and whether you guys should be spending your hard-earned money on it in 2020. And just kind of talking about the new upcoming collection, kind of my favorite things from it and kind of my continued not favorite things and stuff that I think you should avoid. So saying all that, let's get right into the video. So if you're actually new to Essentials by Fear of God or Jerry Lorenzo, however you want to look at it, I really want to go over a basic overview of Essentials by Fear of God and kind of how we got to the point that we're at right now. So back in 2015, Jerry Lorenzo launched Fog, and that was the diffusion line to Fear of God. It was essentially taking the mainline pieces, making it with cheaper fabrics, but maintaining the same fit, the same look, and kind of just giving you the overall look for less money. It was really meant to bring in the younger clientele, such as myself back then, where I'm looking at it like 5 years ago, and I was 20 years old back then. And so the fact of me, I wouldn't be able to afford back then a $500, $600 flannel or $300 t-shirts. But back then you could get them for, $40 for a t-shirt, around $90 for a flannel. Still not cheap prices, but definitely a lot more on the affordable side of things. And Jerry launched around, I believe, 2 collections with this mindset. There's a few Vans that dropped with it. And overall, that was, to me, what Fog was, and kind of still is to this day, was kind of that style. And in 2017, Jerry Lorenzo dropped Fog Essentials, which would later just be called Essentials. And really, I think that was the bridge between Fog and Essentials to where Jerry Lorenzo kind of, instead of making a watered down Fear of God, decided to make more essential pieces, and really that vision is what we still see today. Now back in 2017, seeing even as myself, we kind of thought it was going to be like a one-time thing, and then we go back to mainline things. But over time, we have seen that this is the main collection, and really throughout the years, it's been one standout piece that you don't really see transferred year over year. Stuff you do see transferred year over year are the t-shirts, are the sweatshirts, sweatpants, the, hoodies, stuff like that. You really see every single year, maybe just a different rendition every year. But something like in 2017, you had the bomber jacket, which was pretty big back then. And in 2018, you saw Jerry finally drop Fog Essentials denim, essentially just taking the denim that he's been known for ever since he launched Fear of God and making a Essentials version of that. And last year, we saw the release of puffer jackets, coaches jackets, and the new Essential runner shoe. Although we did see the Essentials and Converse collaboration, really the runners that he released was the first shoe under just the Essentials line, and we're seeing those finally go on sale around like a year later. So with that short history out of the way, now you're all caught up on Essentials and kind of like the whole gist of the brand and how we kind of got from point A to point like D at this point. So saying all that, I want to give you guys my opinions on a new drop and kind of like my thought process that's kind of been developed over the past year and kind of even developing my own personal fashion. So in 2019, one of my videos that got semi-popular was just overviewing the Fear of God sweatshirt. It was released in that collection. It was kind of like a black on 3M black sweatshirt that I thought I would like more than I really did. I made the video on it, and honestly, I sold that sweatshirt like a month later just because I didn't really like the way it fit. It just was a little too cinching at the waist for me personally, and overall it just wasn't something that I really liked. It wasn't something that I loved and wanted to wear all the time. And one of the biggest gripes I have, and you'll see this continued into this year's collection, is the fact I'm not really a big fan of having Essentials right on the back of the pieces. Some of my favorite pieces from 2017 were the t-shirts, and now they're some of my least favorite pieces just because it's so unessential in that sense, where it's just such a big brand name straight across the back, and now in 2020 we're seeing it straight across the front. And to me, I just don't care for it. It's not something that I enjoy, and for something that is deemed an essential piece, it kind of makes it not an essential piece because people are just going to know that you're wearing it all the time. So with saying kind of like my opinion on that, let's get into the 2020 lookbook, kind of just saying some of the things that I like, don't like, some things that I think are going to be doing extremely well and people are going to want them, and some of the stuff that I think is kind of just trendy and really not an essential thing. You're going to see it phased out. So the first new thing that I've been seeing with 2020 was the addition of the polo. I actually think that these are very trendy. I don't think they're going to be an essential thing, but for someone who's like a blue collar worker, has to wear a polo every day, maybe this is a way to kind of incorporate that into your wardrobe. The logo on it is a lot smaller. It's just on the chest, like how you can see with the collar shirt that I'm wearing right now. It's going to be similar to that, where it says Essentials and Fear of God right underneath it. It does look like it has a little bit more of an oversized boxy fit, which isn't the most flattering for a work environment. But if your work just wants you to wear a button-up, it might be your way around that dress code, although my personal opinion, you should probably avoid that and just be professional at work. But, you know, if that is strictly your dress code and you just want to wear what you want, perfect cop out for that. But definitely think that this is still a trendy decision rather than being an essential decision, just because we've been seeing more of that menswear, kind of like oversized menswear aesthetic kind of coming up this year and a little bit last year. Going with another one of my favorite things that I've seen from this whole collection, but is just ruined and makes me not want to buy it, is the new knit sweaters. Those to me are some of the best pieces that are dropping. They're some of my favorites just because of the new look to it. It's something that is fresh with the brand, and it's not just a copy with a slight different rendition on it. But the only problem for me is it's going to be the same theme throughout a lot of these pieces. I just don't like the big Essentials branding across it. I like the subtlety that you would have on like the sleeve there. For me personally, if you're going to call something Essentials, you just shouldn't have a huge logo across it. The hoodies are actually an interesting thing to talk about. So instead of having a normal kind of sweatshirt drop shoulder design, it looks like it's more of that raglan style to where you see it kind of like drop down right here. Something I thought was very interesting when I saw it in photos, and I don't think anybody's really talking about. I might try that, but I've just never found that they fit me well. Anything that's like the raglan cut to where it kind of like, but it's where it kind of cuts down here, so you don't really have like a shoulder seam. It just kind of connects here. For me, it just doesn't fit well, but to you, that might be the perfect fitting sweatshirt or hoodie for you. The one piece I think that is actually really cool, but I just wouldn't be able to incorporate into my wardrobe, and I do think is an essential piece, is the iridescent kind of sweatsuit with the puffer jacket. That is so reminiscent of the 6th collection Fear of God, like iridescent pack that he has. I think that this is arguably one of the better pieces in the collection as well. Something that is taking that main line piece and really turning it into the brand itself. It's really what to me still is Fog at the end of the day, is taking those mainline pieces and making them accessible and its like own rendition of it. This to me really captures that essence, and like I just don't think I would be able to pull it off, but I definitely think it's one of the coolest pieces here. You do see some new kind of jackets with them, but to me, I'm not the biggest fan of them, although I do like the little more subtle branding on most of them. And then we do see the addition of kind of like this like wide mock neck sweaters. For me, I don't think I like those, but those are one of those pieces that even though I personally wouldn't wear it, they're one of the pieces that I definitely do appreciate seeing Jerry come out with, and kind of gives the brand a whole different feel. So really like where I see the Essentials 2020 really going is kind of being a little bit trendier with a sense. They're definitely following a lot out of the menswear trends that we've been seeing, and you can really see that in the way that Jerry styled some of these pieces by putting the polo underneath the sweatshirts. It's like a new take on an old thing. I definitely still don't see myself buying most things from this Essentials collection. To me, at the price points that they're at, around like $90 to $100 for a sweatshirt, to me personally, I would rather just go buy a John Elliott piece that I know is going to last a lifetime. That is something that's made well, isn't mass produced. It's something that is known for the quality of the actual garments itself. Those to me are essential pieces. Like just simply looking at a John Elliott hoodie, this is just looks like a normal hoodie, but in reality, there's so much quality that goes into it. The actual fit of it is something that is different, and to me, that is something that I like to invest my money in more, rather than some of the more trendy pieces that we're seeing. But I definitely think if you're into the whole Fear of God look still, I think that this is a nice shakeup from what we've been seeing. The things I still dislike about it is just a big Essentials branding on it, which in my opinion just makes it not an essential piece. It's almost like making fun of itself by calling it Essentials and being like almost sarcasm at that point. Like, these are essential pieces because of fit, but then their big logo on it is like bigger than what you would see on some Gucci pieces. Like, to me, if you want an essential piece, I'd say go buy a John Elliott piece, because that to me is an essential piece. Something that you can wear every day and no one would call you out on it. But if someone sees you wearing the big ass Essential across your chest, you're gonna get called out sooner or later for wearing the same thing over and over. But the things I do like beyond that is just a sense that Jerry is shaking it up. He is making the collection a bit more trendy in a good way, not in a bad way. But I actually am excited to see where Jerry takes this collection from here on. It is a little exciting to see some of these new pieces. And for me, if he can switch up the knit sweater to instead have essentials like right across it, to kind of have like some embroidery down here, something, I don't know, even if it's something subtle like that, I would like that a little bit more and I'd probably buy it. But the way it stands right now, I don't have many things I want to buy from it, and you probably won't be seeing any videos from me on this. And the thing I didn't mention is he's also dropping a shoe that is apparently made in Italy, and I think from the few shots I could see, I don't really care for it. I'd rather go buy an Ami shoe, a Common Project, one of Jerry's own Fear of God shoes, which you'll probably be seeing a video on in the next few days, and I have it back there. Something like that. Wait for his sale season, and you'll get that for around the same price. But let me know what your guys' thoughts are on essentials in 2020. Are you guys just buying different brands like I am at this point? Because it's not, to me, really an essentials brand. It's more of the brand essentials. I think I'm getting that right. But I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on the essentials in the comments below. Let me know what you guys are planning on copying if you are. And with saying all that has been today's video. If you liked this video, please subscribe down below. You'll see a ton of more content like this on this channel and more content. I'm so sorry for not making more videos this past few months. It's just been crazy for me at home dealing with everything. Been crazy. But if you like this video, while you're subscribing, hit that like button. Really helps out the YouTube algorithm and recommending my video to more people. And just like I end every video on this channel in the past few months, I just want you to stay healthy, stay safe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.